That's right, folks. I'm back again, wearing my Suicide Squad shirt again. So I saw the movie for a second time, this time with some friends, which, if you're gonna see Suicide Squad, see it with some friends. Because while I enjoyed it the first time I saw it by myself, I enjoyed it much more the second time when I saw it with some buddies. So, Suicide Squad is one of those movies, see with friends. Now I have seen it the second time, so now I think we need to talk some spoilers. And yes, that is an official spoiler warning. If you have not seen Suicide Squad yet, why? Listen, I shouldn't have raised my voice at you guys, I'm sorry. Anyway, go away and then come back when you've seen Suicide Squad and we can talk some spoilers together. So Suicide Squad starts off with all the backstory, you're learning all the characters, and this is the part in my spoiler-free review where I said it was kind of choppy. Because you get all these characters' backstories in the span of like 10 or 15 minutes. Because when you're doing an ensemble movie, 15 minutes is a very short time to learn all these backstories. You get Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, El Diablo, Captain Boomerang, Enchantress. You're getting all these characters' backstories and just like in your face. It's really jarring when we're 15 minutes into the movie and we're now going into the mission. That being said, I really like the story of how some of these people came to be part of the Suicide Squad. You knew from the trailers that Batman was going to be hunting down the Joker, because if the Joker was in a movie and Batman wasn't in that Joker movie, that would be weird. But the thing that surprised me the most was when Amanda Waller was talking about Deadshot. They were just like, how'd you get him? And she said, anonymous tip to the right guy in Gotham. And then he's walking down the alley with his daughter, and you just see the cape drop down. And Batman fights Deadshot. Is one of the coolest parts in the beginning of the movie. The part that had my jaw drop to the floor, out of all the holy shit moments in this movie, it was actually Captain Boomerang's introduction. Because I heard that everyone on the Suicide Squad would have a vendetta against Batman because Batman was responsible for putting them in jail in the first place. So when it came to Captain Boomerang, I was just kind of like, well, Captain Boomerang is a Flash villain, so why does Batman catch Captain Boomerang? Sure enough, though, Captain Boomerang's robbing that diamond place and he kills his partner, and then you see the lightning followed by the red suit pop into frame, and you just see Flash standing there like, oh, well, no such thing as honor among thieves, huh? That was the part where I was like, the Flash! One of the coolest parts in the movie, for me, I dug it. No moment in the movie was as cool as that, but the movie was still pretty cool. Now to get into the mission of it, the mission was not really the point of the movie for me. The point of the movie was the interaction between the characters. I thought that was what the movie's strength was, and the movie knew that's what the strength was, and it played off of that very, very well. That doesn't mean that during this mission there aren't some cool action sequences. That first scene when after the helicopter crashes and they're going about their business, you see that army, Enchantress's army. I call them avocado heads because that's what they looked like. Their heads, they looked like walking avocados. But that first scene when they're fighting all of them and they start to get cornered, this is the coolest Deadshot moment in the movie. It's when Deadshot jumps on the police car and he's just like bam, 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 and he just walks by Rick Flag and is like, that's how I cut and run. To get more into some of the negatives in the movie that I couldn't really touch up on, some of the members of the Suicide Squad do not get as much time to shine as maybe they could have had. Talk about Slipknot for a minute, because Slipknot was really fucking useless. Okay, well, first of all, let me explain this. If you knew anything about Suicide Squad, you knew one thing and one thing only about the Suicide Squad before you saw this movie. You knew that Amanda Waller puts these chips in their necks so that if they do any shit that she doesn't like, she can just pow, blow their heads clean off. You knew one member of the Suicide Squad was gonna bite it because Amanda Waller had to prove that those nanites in their neck were not BS. You have Captain Boomerang walking up to Slipknot going, this old Bowman neck crack, man, it's just the scare tactics. I'm gonna make a break for it. You in? And of course, Slipknot rappels up that roof, and then Rick Flag just hits the button and his head blows clean off, and then Slipknot just dies. He's dead now. Which that's fine for me because I didn't know what before this movie, I thought Slipknot was a band. And I need to talk more about Amanda Waller because Viola Davis was hands down one of the best people they could have ever cast to play Amanda Waller in a Suicide Squad movie ever. I didn't talk about Amanda Waller much in my spoiler-free review because, okay, mainly the reason I didn't talk about Amanda Waller that much is because I wanted my Suicide Squad review to not go over 5 minutes, and then when it started to go over 5 minutes, I didn't want to going over 6 minutes, so you get the point, I had to cut out some of the Amanda Waller stuff. But Amanda Waller is just, if you don't know anything about Amanda Waller, you know from this movie that she's not a ray of sunshine, she's a bitch. There's no nice way to put that. Amanda Waller is a straight up bitch. They always try to establish that she is the smartest person in the room. She's always the one who tries to have all her cards on the table. She is the one who wants to be one step ahead of everyone. She will go so far to do that she really doesn't give a shit about anyone, but it's almost weird because she thinks she's doing it for the greater good, when really, this is really her own agenda. She thinks this is right. And I really like how this movie, along with Viola Davis's portrayal, established how far Amanda Waller will go to do what she needs to do. But now we need to talk about one thing where in every Suicide Squad video you ever do, you need to talk about this. I'm a huge Joker fan. I was looking forward to the Joker. When they announced that Jared Leto would be the Joker, that was even better because it's Jared Leto, guys. Jared Leto as the Joker, that should have been awesome. For the most part, it was awesome. I'm still disappointed that he wasn't in the movie as much as he could have been. But in the end, Jared Leto in Suicide Squad is pretty much the equivalent of Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. It's just something to kind of give you the hints of where this character is going when they get to be in their own movie. You get the point that we're seeing where this Joker's going. And if I do say so myself, I think it's going to be pretty great. I really want to see where this Joker is going. Some of the coolest parts in Suicide Squad were the Joker's scenes, and that's why I'm disappointed there weren't more of him. One of the coolest Joker scenes, one of the coolest scenes in the movie was when the helicopter is flying in and starts to click with Rick Flag. He's like, they're not responding. Our bird's been jacked. Sure enough, it turns around. The guy with the Gatling gun is just shooting at him. See the Joker in the suit just mowing people down, and he's laughing maniacally, and it's one of the coolest Joker scenes in the movie. I loved it so much. Also, I like how it kind of gives more into how Harley Quinn became Harley Quinn. You had Harley Quinn jump off into the vat after Joker says, "Would you die for me?" Better question, would you live for me? That kind of proves a lot of what the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship is. And then you just kind of see the Joker start to walk away, and you see he starts to care for her. So he just rips off that jacket and just dives in there and goes after her. The only thing that I still find strange is that I do wish it would have touched more on what the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship actually is like. Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship is portrayed almost as a lot of people like to think it's portrayed, but in reality, it's really kind of fucked up. He broke Harley Quinn. He turned her into everything she's not. And the movie really could have touched more on the abusiveness of that relationship and how the Joker really is in control. Harley Quinn, to a degree, she has Stockholm Syndrome. He's fucked her up. He's fucked her up to a degree that she can't get out of this relationship. And I think the movie could have played on that part of it better. Did you see that Harley Quinn issue 1 by Alex Ross cover in the movie? Because that was rad. Now let's start to talk more about the end of the movie, because this is the part of the movie where I was having so much fun with this movie. And then the climactic battle, actually just the villain in general, it just kind of started to, just kind of started to fizzle. Which I knew from the beginning that Enchantress would probably be the villain in the Suicide Squad. I knew Joker couldn't have been the main villain because I started to piece it together with all the trailers, all the marketing material that came out from the movie. You never saw Enchantress with the Suicide Squad, so I started to guess that she might be the villain. Sure enough, Enchantress is the villain, and she's kind of underwhelming. She's not as good of a villain as I would have liked her to be. She's just kind of there. Also, she continues to prove that the giant bad guy beam shooting into the sky is going to be a trend in superhero movies forever. That being said, when the throwdown happens between El Diablo and her brother, I want to touch more on El Diablo now, because El Diablo was the person I knew little to nothing about the Suicide Squad going into this movie. I had no idea who El Diablo was. This movie made me want to see more of who El Diablo was, because El Diablo, guys, El Diablo is badass. He was the character who, he had this power. He was the most powerful person in the Suicide Squad. He could have easily kicked any of their asses. He didn't want to because he's the tragic character. He knows what this power brings. And it's really kind of sad when you finally see what happened to him, why he refuses to use this power. But he ultimately, he does. He gives his life, and the wrong is righted, and he finds atonement for what he did. I also find it underwhelming when they finally beat Enchantress, and then Rick Flag was like, "Give me June back. Give me June back right now, or I crush this." And then he crushes the heart, and you think she's dead. And that was kind of emotional for me, because Rick Flag lost something, and you saw that pain, and then the movie just kind of ruins it by going, "Oh no, June's okay. She's good. It's all right, guys. She's fine. And then the credits roll, and the movie's over, or so you think, because now DC is starting to do post-credit scenes. It's Amanda Waller. She's talking with someone. You don't know who it is, but then she says, Mr. Wayne. She's sitting there with Ben Affleck, with Bruce Wayne. She hands him a file, and Bruce Wayne looks over the file. It has the Flash, it has Aquaman, it has Enchantress. It's setting the stage for Justice League. That's what it's doing. And I like how Amanda Waller wants to know what Bruce is up to. She's like, why you need this for? And Bruce is like, I just like to make friends is all. And then Amanda Waller, as he's walking out, she says something like, you should stop working nights, which that's the clue to me. Does she know that Bruce Wayne is Batman? But I really like what Bruce Wayne shoots back at her when he turns around and says, you should shut it down, or my friends will shut it down for you. Guys, if that is to lead in to some kind of Suicide Squad versus Justice League movie, I don't know about you, but that would be pretty fucking cool. Guys, in the end, Suicide Squad was one of the best movies of the summer. I get that's not saying much, because this summer really didn't have a lot to offer. Suicide Squad proved to me that it's all worth it, because there can be good on the horizon. Suicide Squad was that movie that came around and said, hey, you've been having a bad summer? Okay, here's a fun summer movie for you to make up for all the shitty summer movies that you've sat through. Guys, in the end, I like Suicide Squad better the second time than I did the first time I saw it. Batman v Superman was such a travesty. It was such a train wreck. It really was not the movie to give you hope for a DC Cinematic Universe. Suicide Squad gives us hope for the DC Cinematic Universe, and I really want to see where everything is going now. I want to see Wonder Woman. I want to see Justice League. I want to see Shazam. I want to see all these movies now. I want to see where this DC Universe goes, and it's all because of Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is the movie that has made me excited for the DC Universe. So guys, that being said, those are my more in-depth thoughts with Suicide Squad, but I want to know what your favorite part of the movie is. Whatever you think your favorite part of the movie is, sound off in the comments. Also, before I leave, I want to point out that I did a collaboration with a buddy of mine in media res. We did a review of The Killing Joke. It's pretty cool. You guys should check it out. It's a pretty interesting look into what a review of mine would be like without the jump cuts. I think it's a pretty cool review. You guys should check it out. We went in depth with everything, from that Batgirl prologue that no one asked for to the actual Killing Joke part and how well that was translated to screen. But yeah, you guys should check it out. I'll see you guys next time.